let him cook. Son, let him cook!
An amazing teacher. I love math. Thanks, Mr. Ink. Like and subscribe.
I love math.
Tell us the coefficients for a plus b to the 6th power. What number does that say, Angie? So, did you look at your triangle? Okay, here's my triangle. What numbers can we use?
Oh! 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 16.
Raise your hand if you got those numbers. Thank you. Alright. Madeline, do the A values. Yeah, I'm going to write the 0 for now. Oops. You can't see it. Make it. Thank you, Madeline. Johnny, do the B values for us.
I have absolutely no idea how to do it.
Okay, so here's one way of doing that problem, Johnny. On this right side, you can just start with b to the 6th power. That's a 6. And just count down. So, b to the...
5.
Yep, keep going.
4, B3, B2, B1,
One more.
B,
B0. Remember, these are all positive. Okay, and now we're just going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up. Jasmine, help us clean this up. There's 1s and 0s that we don't need to write, so help us, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine, tell us basically all of these without, just take out the 1s and 0s. Take out the 1s and the 0s. So, for example, a to the...
So A6.
Yes? Fifth. And then take out the 1, so you just write a B. Keep going. 3. Feel free to go faster. It's what?
15A, 15A2, B4 plus 6A1, B5.
No 1, okay?
What is that?
B to the 6. Okay, so that's a nice, clean answer. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate it. Okay, so here is today's lesson, okay? Now, every A value, we're going to write X. Now, here's the hard part. Every B value, the B represents all of that, so B value is going to be negative 2y. Okay, what does that mean for us? If I substitute that in, I just get x to the 6 plus 6 times x to the 5th. And did you notice my substitutions for the a value is still in parentheses? My b value is negative 2y plus 15 x to the 4th negative 2y to the power of 2. Did you notice the power of 2 is on the outside there? Plus 20 x to the 3rd negative 2y to the 3rd power, running out of space, plus 15 x squared negative 2y to the 4th power, plus, let's go back up here, plus 6 times x negative 2y to the 5th power plus negative 2y to the 6th power. Give you a second to copy that down. Okay, I'm going to pick one of these to simplify, and then you will do the rest. Okay?
Just a little bit.
Then you're going to say, I can't see, right?
I can't see.
Okay, I'm going to pick the most difficult one. I'm going to simplify this one here. So put your pencil down, just watch as I simplify this one. I'm going to use order of operations. This basically means exponents first, so that means x times x times x. That gives us 20x to the 3rd power. Negative 2y to the 3rd power is negative 2y times negative 2y times negative 2y. And remember, you can use calculators, so if you don't know what that is, you can just put it into your calculator. Negative, by the equal sign, not this one, negative 2, caret, or the exponent button, to the 3rd power. And you should have negative 8. So that becomes negative 8y to the 3rd power. Almost done. 20 times negative 8 gives me negative 160. And then the x's and y's, you just write alphabetical order. X to the 3rd, y to the 3rd. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Partner A, you're going to clarify any questions your partner has on just the A's and B's and the substitutions. Partner B, you're going to summarize how did we simplify this one, and then you guys are going to simplify the rest of those. Okay? Ready, set, go. Alright, special winner, Caesar! Simplify this one over here. Caesar, this one just becomes what? X to the 6. Okay, Caesar, how about this one? Okay, what's x to the 5th? If you wrote out 5 x's, what do you get? You just get 6x to the 5th. Okay. Caesar, now we're going to have to multiply 6 times negative 2. What do you get? Negative 12. X to the 5. Y. Raise your hand if you got that. Okay, let's try another one. Dayanara. 15x to the 4th power?
I got it.
Dana, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Should you do 15 to the 4th power?
Yes.
Okay. Order of operations says exponents first. What does this become? X to the 4. And then you just multiply times 15 here. 15.
Madeline Mulatto?
Yeah.
You are going?
Office?
Yeah.
Okay, office.
She just said she's leaving. She didn't say.
Good job, Dana.
Right, huh?
Negative 2y squared. Negative 2y times negative 2y. 4y squared. Good job. Okay. 15 times 4. There you go. 60 what? Good. Okay, let's do this one over here now. Who's this? It's gonna be you, Luis. What does this become?
X2 or 15 and 2x.
Yup.
It becomes 30x.
No.
You gonna
Remember, this is negative 2y, and there's 4 of them.
Alright.
Here's a visual. Negative 2y to the 4th. If you multiply all those, what do you get?
16
How many y's? Y to the...
y to the 4th.
Okay. Now we need to multiply 15 times 16, Luis.
What's the first?
That's a calculator.
240.
240?
Yeah, 240.
240 what?
Y. X.
X
X2. X squared.
and
16. Oh no, Y4.
y to the 4th.
Y to the 4th.
Okay, I'm just going to do the other ones. This becomes 6x. And negative 2y to the 5th power becomes negative what? 32y 5th? And then if you multiply those two numbers, you get negative 192. X, y to the 5th. And then this one is going to be positive 64y to the 6th.
Whoa.
Okay, so just go slow. Think about it. If you need to do side problems, totally fine. And this is our answer. Clarify any questions your partner has?
I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math. I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you?
I'm going to ask you guys to look at question number 20 and basically do the same thing, but we're going to do a plus 5 to the 5th power. We're going to expand this one first. So Rita, help us write the coefficients.
1, 5, 10, 5,
And go ahead and tell us what to write for the A's. Oops, that was supposed to be a B.
5 to the 5, 8 to the 5, 8 to the 3rd, 8 to the 2nd, 8 to the 8th, or the 1st.
Mm-hmm. And the last one?
Just
A to the
0.
0 power. Thank you. Raymond, help us fill out the B's. But what would I write? Plus. Keep going. Okay, yesterday we learned that the exponents add to what we need here, right? 5 plus 0 is 5, 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, let's clean this up now. So now we're going to take out, class, anything to the 0 power is equal to? 1. Okay? Chris, tell us what's right.
1,
So remember, we don't have to write the powers of 1 anymore, right? Keep going.
plus 10 a partial third b squared
You're following along.
plus 10 squared a squared b partial third plus 5a b partial fourth plus 1 b partial fifth.
Okay, so that's a cleaned up version. What's the only difference between yesterday and today's lesson? Yeah. A value is x, but pay attention here. My b value is 3y. Alex, don't throw things.
Straight out of you.
So every a value, we're going to write x. Pay attention. B value is positive 3y. Now, they could give you a really difficult one where it makes it a minus sign, and then your b value would be a negative. So here, my b value is a 3y. So now I have x to the 5th power plus 5 times x to the 4th power times 3y, right? There's the b value. Plus 10 times a value is x, and my b value is 3y squared. So notice that every time I'm replacing here in pink, it's going to be in parentheses. Do you see that? Super important. Plus 10 times x squared. My b value is 3y. Logan, wake up. Times 5 times x. 3y to the 4th power. Notice my 4th power is here on the outside because the b value is 3y. And then lastly, 3y to the 5th power. Okay, let's do some processing. Partner A, I want you to explain or clarify any questions your partner has about just doing the problem with A's and B's. Partner B, I want you to explain how to use the yellow and pink. And then I want you guys to simplify these. Okay, so 3y squared would be what? 9y squared. And 9y squared times 10 would be 90. Okay? You guys try. Class, what is x to the 5th power? Just x to the 5th power. Okay, let's focus on this one. For those who keep saying can't see, get glasses. You decide to go to community college, the professor's not going to zoom in for you. It's called manual zoom. He's in the front. This is 5x to the 4th power. And this one just says 3y. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply the constants. A lot of you guys are asking, how did I get 90 in that example? Well, it's 5 times 3. Class, what's 5 times 3? So this becomes 15x to the 4th y. Now, notice that my x's are still descending or going down, and my y values are ascending or going up. Y to 0, y to the first, y to the second. See that? Let's try another one. Class, this one's going to become what right here? 10x squared, right? Okay. Class, does this mean 9y? No. What does it mean?
27.
3y times 3y times 3y gives us 27y cubed. And then class, what's 10 times 27?
270.
270. Let's do the last one. Or last two. This one just becomes what? 5x. 3y to the fourth power. Okay, so I don't really know what that is, so look. I have 3 caret C-A-R, I think E-T, to the fourth power. Try that again. 3 to
33.
81. Some of your calculators will have x to the y power on your calculators. So I get 81 to the fourth.
400.
Because remember, this here basically means 3y times 3y times 3y. Does that make sense? And if you multiply 5 times 81, you get
400.
and 3y to the fifth power?
No.
243?
Yeah.
Y to the fifth. Okay, so how did we do this problem? Still do it with a plus b's, right? Using Pascal's triangle for your coefficients. A values are descending, b values are ascending. You substitute in your a and your b values, and then you're just simplifying. When you're simplifying, go slow. For example, multiply the constants. 10 times 9 gives you 90. I'm going to box this one. This is my final answer.
That's an answer. That's a whole answer.
I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math.
I asked you guys, instead of using binomial theorem, yesterday we learned to use what? Pascal's triangle. And now this tells us in today's lesson we're going to be doing a substitution. And then we'll be expanding these. So I asked you guys to do question number 3 using a plus b to the 7th power. Tony, what are the coefficients something to the 7th power?
7, 21, 35, 35, 21.
Right, super small, you're going to need it. And then yesterday we learned to put our a values on the left and going down. Brendan, go ahead and do that for us, please.
A5.
A to the...
7.
Okay, now go down.
A6. A5. A4. A3. A2.
And then we learned to put the b values on the right side by going down as well. Melissa, see? We're going to start with the b values. What number do we start with? And then yesterday we learned not to write the 1s or anything b to the 0 power, because b to the 0 power is a 1. Laws of exponents. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Angel R, help us write it without 1s and zeros, and also put in your plus signs. Daphne?
AC semicolon plus 7 A6 and B
Good.
plus 21 A3 and B2 plus 35 A4 B3 plus 35 A3 and B4 plus 21 A2 second and B5 plus 7 A and B2 6 plus B7.
Raise your hand if you got that as your answer. Alright, here's today's lesson. Today you're doing exactly the same, but you get to this point, and now you're going to put in A is 4x. And all of your B values are going to be what? -7. In our substitutions, using parentheses on paper and your calculator are super important. Let me do the first couple of them with you and try to help you find those on your calculator. So the first one's going to be 4x to the 7th power plus 7 to the 4x to the 6th power times -y plus 21 4x to the 5th -y squared, and then we'll just continue the substitution. Is that better? Thanks. Alright, now have your calculator out. Now we're going to use our calculator to simplify these. Now in the calculator, I'm not going to put in 4x, I'm just going to get 4 to the 7th power. Class, is 4 to the 7th power 28? No, it's a very big number. So on your calculator, there are a couple of ways I'll show it to you. My calculator, I'm going to type in 4, and then this is my exponent button right here. And you have something to the 7th power. Now let's practice putting those in parentheses. 4 to the 7th power. And that's going to equal 16,384. And that is x to the 7th power. Now when you get to the ones that are a little bit bigger, you're going to... let me put that in this calculator to show you guys. So in this calculator, I have a caret button. That's just an up arrow. So you'll type in 4 to the 7th. Let's do that in parentheses. Looks like this. Some of you will have x to the y power or y to the x on your calculator. But when you get to a problem that looks like this, we're going to type in 7 parentheses 4. I'm not going to include the variable. So 7 4 exponent 6. To get out of the exponent, you're just going to press the right key And then negative y is essentially negative 1. Now some calculators are able to type in all of this math type. Some of you will actually have to do each of these by hand. Press enter or equals. Now, if it is a negative, that tells you the math operation that we're going to write next. So negative 28,672. That's what 7 times 4 to the 6th power times negative 1 is. A common mistake here is to write 7 times 4. Remember, 7 times 4 is not the order that you go in. You go by PEMDAS. So parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication. This would be x to the 6. And then when you get to the second variable, you're just going to write y. So it'll always go in alphabetical order. X's and then y's. I'm going to stop and do some processing right now. Partner A, you're going to clarify and summarize any questions your partner has on just the A's and B's. The other person, you're going to explain the substitution and how did we do the first two. And then in about 6 minutes, I'll be calling on students to help me simplify the rest of these. Resolve. When you multiply, what'd you get? Oscar's volunteering going next. Did you get a number? Oscar, did you get a number? We'll come back to you. Andrea? Sebastian, what did you get for this one?
For that one, I got 21,504x.
Oscar's doing this one right here, the third one. Do you have the fourth one? Starts with an 8.
It's 65,536.
I did not get that. $35 times 4 to the 4th power times negative 1 to the 3rd power. Oscar, did you get a number? Alright. So, Oscar's working on this one. Sebastian's working on this one. Let's get an answer for this one right there. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th problem. Melvin? No? Sebastian, want to try again? Let me know you're ready.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it?
So I got 8,960 x and negative 3y.
X to the
4.
and y to the 3rd. Question, is this positive or negative? So if you have 3 negatives, negative times negative is positive, positive times a negative, this is a negative, negative times a positive is a negative, negative times a positive is a negative. And remember, when you guys put it all in your calculator, it'll actually tell you that it's negative. Oscar, did you get yours?
Yeah.
Answer?
21,504 x to the 5th power 5. That's right.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Good. Angel C.
Is that the fifth one?
Yep.
2,240. X to the Y.
Y to the what?
Just Y. On Y to
Alright, let's go back to this one now. Thank you. Basil?
That's the 21 on the right side, right?
Correct.
Negative 336. X2 Y5.
X2, Y5?
Yeah.
Thank you. Lizeth? Do you have an answer? Echo?
28.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive 28 what?
X.
What's your next variable?
Negative Y.
Remember the negative, that's negative 1 times itself 6 times turns into a positive, and that's why that's positive. So the negative actually goes away. And Natalie A, back, and Alex, the last one.
Negative 1. Instead of 5.
Let's see if we can put a box around that. That is our answer. All of that. Super helpful to have your calculator, substitutions in parentheses, and go very slow.
I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math. I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you?
Alright, let's just check
I
in
love math.
so far. I've asked you to do question number 22 and expand this, but remember, you're kind of doing it in the a plus b to the 4th power first. So, Chris, what should I write first? What are your coefficients? So he's just looking at his Pascal triangle. He has it to the 4th power. If I look to the 4th power here, those are the numbers 1, 4, 6, 4, 1 that he got. Okay? So having this chart, super handy. Alright, where are we going? Okay, help us with A's and B's now. Branya. You want to do A's or B's first? Okay, go. So she's starting off with the number we have. Okay, thank you. Raphael, go ahead and do the B values.
Go to the other side.
You like to start on the other side? Okay, go.
So B to the 4. And B to the 3. And B squared. And then B. B 0.
0 pluses. Good job. Erica? let's go ahead and clean this up and just take out your zeros and ones. Tell us what's right. So remember, b to the 0 power is 1, and we don't have to write this one, so you're just left with a a to the 4th over here. For a to the 3b. So if Rafa did have a 1 here, you could just take it off here. Keep going. Remember, we're not writing the ones. Remember, we're not writing the ones or the zeros, so now you just have what left? B to the 4th. Okay. Let's do the substitutions now. Every a value is going to be what class? 3x. And every b value is going to be 2y. Now it's a positive 2y, and you'll notice that problems are negative. We'll practice those. We'll practice one tomorrow. Alright, Alex, tell us what to write. You can do it. What's your a value? A value is 3x. Yes, Joshua. Keep going, Alex.
3x to the second time. And then 2y to the second time. Plus 4 3x 2y to the third time. Plus 2y to the third time.
Raise your hand if you have that so far. Okay. Raise your hand if you need some time to simplify it now. Okay? I want you guys to go ahead and push back your desks. That's your lesson quiz. I want you to finish simplifying.
You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math.
You guys in question number 5 to expand a plus b to the 8th power. Chris, tell me your coefficients. Raise your hand if you got that so far. Remember, you're just looking at this number. The exponent tells you to, you're either using the second row that I've highlighted in yellow, or if you're using the nth power, you're going down to the 8th one, these numbers here. So we've identified the exponent, and then we wrote the coefficients. Now we're going to start with the a's and start on the left side, and we're going to descend. Eric, go ahead and help us with the a values. Good job. Give me a second. All right. Now we're going to start with the B values. We're going to start on the right hand side and you're going to count down from there. Amy, let's go ahead and do the B values.
Okay. B.
Yep.
B7. B6. B5. B4. B3. B2. B1. B0.
Okay, now we're just going to simplify. Remember, we're not going to write the ones, and b to the 0 power we learned yesterday is 1. Mariana, go ahead and simplify for us and also put in your plus signs. Can't talk? Francois? You were here yesterday, right? Sebastian?
8A
Yep.
plus 8A7 B1
Remember, we're not going to write the 1, right?
B plus 28A6 B2 plus 56A5 B3 plus 70A4 B4 plus 36A to the third power B5 plus 28A to the second power B6 plus 8A B7 plus
Do you write the 1? Remember, this is also 1, so you have to write it. So we have just b to the 8th. Alright, raise your hand if you got that one as your answer from yesterday's lesson. Okay? So today's lesson, we just work off of this. Watch. Your A value is going to be negative x, and your B value is going to be positive 5y. So I'm going to use my highlighter here. Now, it is highly important that as you do the substitutions, that you're putting that into a parentheses. So the longest problem of the year just got longer. And every B value is going to be 5y. So, my A value is negative x. Super important. See how I put negative x inside where A is. Again, my A value is negative x. But here, my B value now is 5y. So notice when I'm changing the variable to the substitution in color here, I'm putting it in parentheses. 28, A value is negative x. And then your B value is 5y. It's going to be a lot of substitutions. Write small. If you're not doing your substitutions in parentheses, the problem is going to go all wrong. So organization is key. course, I'm using pen, so you can easily see that. Jillian, wake up. Remember, we learned in yesterday's lesson that your exponents will add to be the original, so 2 and 6 gives us 8 from the original problem. Okay, that was a lot of substitutions, right? Alright, here comes the hard part. We now need to simplify. Now, luckily, we have our calculators. So take out your regular handy-dandy calculator. Don't use your phone, because your phone will brag how smart they are. Okay, if you get stuck on the negatives, just think of, there's no number in here, so what number can you think of? 1. So you can put negative 1 to the 8th power. Now, I will stress again on your calculator that you also have to put that in parentheses. You're not going to put the x, but I'm going to put in negative 1. Your calculator will have 2 buttons. One button is an exponent button that looks just like this button. Some calculators will say x to the y power. Whoops, so I didn't clear it. And its result is a positive number. So what does that tell you? It's just going to become 1x to the 8th power. Okay. Some calculators have a caret button. This is what the caret button looks like. Okay, so I'm going to have to put it in parentheses, negative 1, caret 8. Now, let me show you why the answer is positive 1. But let's say you are lazy. Let's just say you're that student who likes to just type in negative 1 to the 8th power. Look at you, lazy student. Now you have the wrong answer. But my calculator gave me that answer. No, you input into the calculator incorrectly. The user's fault. Your fault. So make sure you're using parentheses. Okay? So this is going to become 1x to the 8th power. Just x to the 8th power. Okay, look at this one now. This is negative 1 to the 7th power. If you think about it, this was an even, right? Negative 1 times negative 1, that's a positive 1. That's x to the 2nd, that's positive, right? So odds are going to keep negative. So I already know that my answer is going to be negative, right? Negative times a positive is going to be a negative. I already know this is going to be x to the 7th. And now I just need to figure out, in this case, I got lucky, 8 times the negative 1 times the 5 gives me negative 40. Negative 40x to the 7th power. Now, don't also forget you have a second variable now. The second variable they like to write in alphabetical order, so that would be x to the 7th y. Do you see that? Alright, let's try the next one. Negative 1 to the 6th power is negative 1. Negative 1 times 28 is negative 28. Now pay attention. This is negative 28 times 5 squared. Let's use this calculator. Negative 28 times 5 squared. Isn't that nice? This calculator, I'll put all of it at once. And you're going to get negative 700. What happens? Let's see. That should have been positive. Let's see if I can do this. Boom! No, didn't do it. Try that again. 28 times negative 1 times 5 to the second power. Again, super nice if your calculator could put all of that at once. Did it again. I forgot to put. Try that again. 28 times negative 1 to the 6th power. That's what I wanted to do. And then to get out of the exponent, you just press the right key. And then 5 squared. You should get positive 700. So positive 700 x to the 6, y to the 2nd. Alright, I'm going to pause here to do some processing. Darian! Alright, we're going to do this one right here, Darian. Darian, did you multiply 56 times negative 1 to the 5th power times... Uh-oh, look, I forgot one. Do you guys see how I missed that? So I'm always looking if my exponents are adding to 8, the original problem. Darian, did you get a number?
Negative 7,000.
Negative 7,000. Let's do it together. 56 times negative 1 to the 5th power. Five to the 3rd power. Negative 7,000 is correct. Now, guys, look here. If this is going to be negative 7,000, I don't have a plus sign. So, negative 7,000. Darian, tell me the rest. X to the 5th. Y to the 3rd. Good job. Diana? Positive or negative? 43,000. X to the Y to the is correct. Melissa? Julian? Your answer? What did you put in your calculator? I'm sorry? Oh, her calculator. Oh. I forgot a 5 here. Marco?
Negative 175,000.
Yep. Keep going.
Oh, x to the 3rd and y5.
Good. So we just did that one right there. Okay, this one right here. UN? It's a big number, right? Is it positive or negative? Correct. Echo?
437,500.
Correct.
X2, X6, Y6.
Y6. Alright, let's move on to the next one here. Job you in. Cynthia? Positive or negative? Remember, it's 8 times 5 to the 7th power. This brings up a good point, guys. It's not 40 to the 7th power. It's 8 times whatever 5 to the 7th power is, because you're doing exponents PEMDAS first. They're scoring goals on you, Cynthia. Come on. You can't do it by hand. It's really long. You guys have a calculator over there? I give you a hint. It's a bigger number than the previous one. Yep. And the last one, Yulissa. Elizabeth. That, all of it, is our answer. Now, I want to point out something. What did you guys notice about the math operations? Before, they were all plus signs, but when you're doing a problem that has a negative in it, what happened? They're alternating. Now, I would only look at that observation at the very end, okay? Don't just put in the plus and minus signs. Take your time, write down the formula, substitute, use your calculator.
I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math. I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you? I love math.
Alright, so I asked you guys to do question number 6, and the warm-up, or that was yesterday's lesson, a plus b to the 6th power. Using your chart from yesterday, help us get the coefficients. Darlene. Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay. If you look at your Pascal's triangle, you can either look on this side where it says the 6th power, because that's what it has here, 6, and you're writing down these numbers. Or you can go to the second row right here that I'm highlighting, and you can use that one as well. Okay? So yesterday we learned to identify the exponent and then write down those coefficients that Darlene did. Now we're going to start with the A's on the left side and descend. Then we'll start with the B's on the right and descend, and then we'll simplify. Fold my paper really quick. Francis, go ahead and do the A values. Good job. Virgilio, B values. Partner A, tell partner B, what do we know about anything to the 0 power? Class, show me with your fingers. Write that on your formula sheet. Anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So in this next step, we're basically going to write everything without 1s and 0s. We're going to simplify. Help us simplify Benito. Don't forget the plus sign.
6 plus 6a to the 5th. B plus 15a to the 4th. B to the 2nd. Plus 20a to the 3rd. B to the 3rd. Plus 15a to the 2nd. And B to the 4th. Plus 6a. And B to the 4th. 1 to the 6th. Plus to the 5th. And then plus B to the 6th.
So he does not write the 1. A to the 0 power is also 1, and you're not writing that, so you're just left with B to the 6. Okay? This was yesterday's lesson. Raise your hand if you got that so far. Okay. Today's lesson is just doing a substitution. Your A value, if you have a highlighter, super helpful. A value is going to be 2x. And pay attention, your B value is going to be negative 3. So every B value is going to be negative 3. We're going to do a substitution. Substitution goes with parentheses. Watch as I write this, or do it with me. A is equal to 2x, so I'm going to put in parentheses 2x to the 6th power plus 6 times 2x to the 5th power times negative 3. Zoom in. (15 times 2x to the 4th power times negative 3 to the 2nd power. Plus 20 times 2x to the 3rd power. B is negative 3 to the 3rd power. Plus 15. A is 2x. I'm putting that in parentheses to the power of 2. B is negative 3 to the 4th power. Now, previously today I was making mistakes, and you can double check that your exponents always add to the original, just in case you might miss a number. So, right, 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Remember, every A value is 2x, and every B B value is -3. And then -3 to the 6th power. Alright, I'm going to do the first 3. And on the first 3, I'm going to use 3 random calculators. I'll use 2 that are mine that look different, and then I'll try to use a student's calculator to show you guys the different calculator buttons. Okay? Let's do the first one. We're going to simplify 2x to the 6th power. That's essentially writing out 2x 6 times. 2x times 2x times 2x, 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 2x. Okay? Now, when you put this in your calculator, you're not going to put the variable. You're only going to put the number. Okay? So, in my calculator, again, use parentheses. 2 parentheses 2, close the parentheses. Now, in my calculator and Texas Instrument calculators, a lot of times have this caret button, it's called. And it actually calls math type. It actually shows you the 6 to the very top. And you just press enter. And you'll get 64. So our answer here is 2 to the 6th power is 64, and x to the 6th power is x to the 6. Okay? Let me show you with this Casio. Okay, this one's a little bit more difficult, and so if your calculator can handle all of it at once, good. If yours can't, you might have to take a little bit longer, okay? Let me show you what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to write out the phrase PEMDAS, because I was walking around today and noticed a bunch of students making mistakes. And the reason why I wrote PEMDAS here is because some students would multiply 6 times 2, and they would get 12, and they would do 12 to the 5th power. That's not correct in the order because they did multiplication first. But you're supposed to do what first, class? Parentheses and exponents, which means they should have done 2 to the 5th power before they multiply by 6. Okay? So let's go for the home run. And I can actually put all this into my calculator. Again, same thing, but no variables. 6 times 2, close the parentheses. Okay, my button for the exponent here is x to that box. Now your calculator might have in the background like x to the y or y to the x power. 5. To get out of the exponent, you press the right arrow, and then times -3. Now, pay attention. This is actually going to tell you if your answer is going to be positive or negative. Yesterday's lesson, they were all positive. Now it's negative. Negative 576. Now, for the variable, again, that's just x to the 5th. Now, if you get a problem where there's 2 variables, you'll write them alphabetical. So if that was like a y problem, like the one above, okay, the y would just go next to it. And one more random student calculator that they want me to see. Yours is the winner. Alright. Some random calculator. Haven't seen this before. I'm looking for an exponent button right there. This one says y to the x. So if I was doing something like 2 to the 4th power, 2 yx 4, so that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and that should be 16. There it is. So if you're using a calculator like this, okay, you can probably write the numbers underneath if you want. -3 squared. On this calculator, I'm going to have to use this button down here as a negative. So 3 negative squared. So y to the x 2 equals positive 9. Does that make sense? Whoops, that was that problem. And then times 15, and then you just multiply all those numbers together. Okay? Less sleepy? When you multiplied all that, what do you get? Yeah, like What's your answer? We will come back to you, Leslie P. This one over here. Peter, did you get it?
It's negative 4,800.
Yes. X what? Yes. Good, Peter. Marco.
I got 4,360.
Good.
X over the second.
And is that 4,860 positive or negative? You are correct. Jenny. Huh? Jenny. Ariana. Lome. Negative. Correct. Let's see, you got yours?
2,160.
X to the what? Positive or negative? Good. And the last one, Lana.
720.
Positive or negative? Positive. Good. There it is. Let's box it. So essentially what we did is just expand it using Pascal's triangle. Use A's and B's. Then today's lesson is just substitute it in, and then you have lots of multiplying with your calculator.
I love the Smiths. I said I love the Smiths. You predicted music.